What's going on YouTube? It's Gemini G7. We're working on the car again, so we got another product review for you guys. So we got some packages coming in, 3 stuff, and as you can see, I got the Subaru in the air. So let's go ahead and dive down close to see what we are working with. Let me adjust the camera real quick. Right about there, looks good. Okay. So what are the merchandise? Okay, so we're gonna go over here for the first 3 here. This is from Perrin. We're gonna be installing the shifter stop today. So here's the hardware. We got an aluminum bracket. We got an Allen wrench key, 2 washers, and 2 nut bolts here as well. Okay, that's one. Second box here from Perrin. This is for the 6-speed WRX shifter bushing. Okay. You got a ball, small type of grease and a brass bushing with 2 O-rings already assembled to it. Okay. These 2 here, well, not this one here. This one here is go into the shifter. This one here goes to the bottom of the car. And last but not least, is there a knife I can borrow? Oh boy. I did cut the other side. This is from WRX. Okay, if you're wondering who it is, WRX. And we got a shifter, not a shifter knob, an e-brake knob right here in black. Okay, this is for the e-brake, and this is the button for it. We're not gonna be installing this though. This right here, I'm saving it, and you'll find out soon or later down the road why. But I'm not gonna be installing this today. Okay. This is the part here that I am gonna install. This is called a sandwich plate. It goes on the differential itself from WRX. Okay, it's really a heavy duty plate, and we're gonna be installing this. So this 2 here is gonna go onto the car on the bottom to make the shifting easier. This one here is gonna go on the inside of the interior of the car to install that. Okay, so let me go and get to it. Alright, as you can see, we already have the car in the air. Hold on 1 second. All right guys, so for daily driving, okay, daily driving on the WRX, the shifting is really sloppy. Well, careful. It's very sloppy. So as you can see, okay, see, it's sloppy. Okay, no joke, this thing is very sloppy. See, very sloppy. Okay, so we're gonna change that. I'm gonna try to do more of a stiffer setup, more of a crisp feeling on the WRX. That's the reason why I got those parts. So let me go ahead, go into the car, locate where they're gonna go, and we'll get back to it. All right, catch you guys in a bit. All right, guys, my headband is not all the greatest to be attached to my head, but right now we're underneath the car. Here's the transmission, and the bushing goes right here. Okay, you gotta take off this plate right here. It's like a heat shield plate kind of deal. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but that piece right there, that's what we're going to be changing out. That's the bushing, where the brass round bushing goes. That's gonna go there. So let me go ahead and grab this. This looks like a 10 or an 8, but I could be wrong. Let me see, where's that other tool that I had? Let's see. This will fit. Hopefully this will fit. Oh, I don't think this will work. It looks like we're gonna need a socket instead. God dog it. All right, let me go grab it. What's up, Mochi? Stop messing with my tools, girl. All right, so I got these 2 bolts off. These are 12mm bolts, if you guys can see. And then I got this plate off. So once you get this plate off, we'll put it right here. Now we got that bushing right there. All right, so you're gonna need a needle nose pliers, and we're gonna replace this inside of this thing here. If you guys can see, inside there's a rubber bushing. We're just gonna change this out to a brass bushing so have a much better of a feel. This is like a hydraulic kind of deal here for your shifting. So everything we're shifting, going through gears, this thing here will compress back and forth to go into the transmission to go into your gear. This is also held by a pin, and we're gonna need a needle nose pliers, and then pop this out, put the grease on, throw it in there. Pretty simple. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab some needle nose pliers. Be right back. Okay, now I got my flathead with me. Oh, don't drop that, I need that. Okay, and then pull this pin right here. Come on. Ooh, it shouldn't be that hard. There we go. Don't lose this pin. You're gonna need this pin right here. Okay, don't lose it. I'm gonna put it right here where I know where I put it. Once you do that, this thing here should slide right off. Pull forward. Oh, and there goes the washer. Forgot about the washer. Don't lose that washer now. Okay. Pull this thing forward. And there we go. That thing's out. Pretty simple. Not hard at all. Once you grab that out, turn it forward. You see it's right here, this rubber bushing here with a little small brass thing in the middle of it. So we're gonna pop that out. We're gonna keep the outside ring, but just the inside here, we're gonna remove it. And then we go grab that part and swap it out right back. All right, guys, so we got this thing pulled off. As you can see, there's an empty hole there. I use a flathead, just push the sucker out. This is what it's gonna look like, if you guys can see. Now we're gonna replace this with a brass. You see how squishy it is? So it's rubber, you know? That's why it's sloppy when you're shifting gears. So when you're shifting gears, this thing here goes back and forth like this. So, and it's going against this damn thing here. It's so squishy. So make it a little sloppy feel. You feel me what I'm talking about? So I'm gonna put that back in the box. I'm gonna grab this packet here, okay? See, I come with some lube and this brass fitting here. Rip this sucker off. Hold on a second. Okay, once you rip that sucker off, I'm gonna need that lube too as well. Come on, lubey. Sorry for the camera, guys. 1 second. Okay. Here's some lube. Here's the grease. So we're gonna lube all this sucker right here. All of it. Okay. Now, this grease better not get on my face. Oh, just landed on my face. See, I knew it. I'm gonna put a whole bunch of them because I'm not coming back down here. Okay. See, it's all lubed up. Grease it really well. Okay, now back over here. See the way it sits? I'm gonna push this rod back. From my understanding, this bigger face goes in this way. You guys can see. Hold on a second. See, just like that. Other than that, then you take this rod and go over it as in so, just like that. See how easy it is? And once that's done, put everything back. Let me grab that plate. What do I do with that plate? Here's a plate. Put it back in here. Okay. Then put the pin back in. Now it does have a little locking mechanism right here. You see it? So just be careful with it. Okay. Let me do this real quick and we're right back. All right, so the installation of this brass bracket here is done. I put the pin in already, if you guys can see it. Well, I can't tell if the cameras can get the footage or not, but shit, it's on my forehead. But see, it's in. So we get the brass bracket in and we're good to go. That one is done. Now the other part, let me go find it and we'll get back to that one. All right, catch you guys in a bit. All right, guys. When I installed the billet plate, it's hard to describe how it's done, and it took me a minute trying to figure it out. And I thought my GoPro was running and I didn't get the footage, so I'm pretty pissed about that. I don't like doing this, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyways. That way you guys get an idea. I'll show a video clip of this guy, how he installed that sandwich plate on top of the tranny. There's a 11/16 bolt you gotta take off, and a lot of a few 11/16 bolt and a lot of 12 millimeter bolts that you have to remove the heat shield around the transmission. And there's also a bolt on top, but literally on the other side, that's where the sandwich plate goes. It's just like, and I was like, man, I didn't get the footage because I thought my GoPro was running that time, so I was pretty upset about that. So I'm gonna add that video clip here, that way you guys get the idea of it.
What's up, guys? Austin from Billetworks here. Today we have a 2020 WRX that I'm going to do a shifter plate and shifter bushing install. This will be good for the 2015 and up WRX platform. So let's get started. Now, this WRX already has our short shifter assembly, which reduces throw by 35%, shortest on the market, but with adding a shifter plate, we'll reduce throw by a total of 55% compared to stock. So let's get into it. First thing I'm gonna do is remove the heat shield right above the exhaust system here. Next step, I'm going to remove this transmission cross member here. There's two bolts here, and then there's two larger bolts on the side. So next step, I'm going to remove these four bolts, as well as these two nuts, and that'll allow me to drop the rest of the transmission mount. Next is removing this little shield here. It's just two 12mm bolts. Next is removing this shield or cover right here. It'll be 1, 2, 3, and 4 bolts. The fourth bolt is up above, which is going to be a lot tougher to get to. I'll show you how to get to that one. So the fourth bolt that I told you guys about is up top here. Now I found it the easiest to reach around from the front. Now you can't even really see it, but you'll probably be able to see my finger here. It's right where my finger is. So what I do is I get in from the front of the transmission, and I use a crescent wrench and get the box end of the wrench on here. And then being in the front, I have some clearance in the trans tunnel to use the wrench. You can see here, this cover, right there's a bolt running in 90 degrees into the transmission. Next is removing these two retaining clips. This will allow the shifter cable to come out and out of the way. So I have a flathead screwdriver and another little chisel tool that I'll kind of use to wedge in here to pop this clip out. Now that the shifter plate is fully exposed, I'm going to start by knocking out this roll pin. Now you want to make sure you use the right size punch because it's actually two roll pins in one. You don't want to go with too small of a punch or else it'll leave the larger roll pin still inside. To make it easier, you can shift it into the different gears, and that'll allow you to align your punch better. All right, once the pin is out, we can go ahead and slide the shifter plate off of the shaft. Now, if your WRX has some mileage on it, this shaft, as well as the shifter plate, might be a little corroded, so you might have to get in there with a screwdriver or some other pry bars to try and pry it off of the transmission. But this is a 2020, so it came off fairly easy. Now to quick go over the two main differences between our shifter plate and the factory shifter plate. As you can see here, the distance between the two pivot points is a lot shorter than the factory. This will significantly change the throw of the shifts. And you can also kind of see here that our shifter plate is heavier than the factory shifter plate. This will allow throws to be a little bit easier, especially after we're shortening the throws. So let's keep moving. So before we install the new shifter plate onto the transmission, what I'm going to do first is insert the roll pin into our shifter plate. This will just make it a lot easier when installing. I'm just going to hold it here with the needle nose pliers. We want to make sure that when inserting the pin into our shifter plate, it doesn't expose into the hole. So I have it started. I'm going to knock it in a little bit more. Yep, that'll be perfect. Next, I'm just going to put a little bit of anti-seize on this shaft. That'll just help the plate be removed if you ever need to remove it. It'll just avoid any type of corrosion. Now we're ready to go ahead and install our shifter plate onto the shaft. Now we want to keep in mind the direction of the through hole in the shaft. We want to align that with our roll pin. So as you're hammering, you want to take your time and wiggle a little bit just to make sure that it's guiding into the hole properly. Then you'll know it's hammered in the whole way when the pin is flush with the shifter plate. Next step is installing our billet work shifter bushing. That'll just slide right over our shifter plate. Now we're going to take our shifter cable and we want to make sure we remove the factory bushing. Now just pop out. And we'll just slide the shifter cable over our bushing there like that. Next is to insert this retaining clip back in. We want to push as far forward as possible on the shifter cable so that the clip can slide in behind it. We'll push that the entire way in. Now we'll put the large washer back on and that other retaining clip. Next step is to reinstall this small cover that was here. Next is just reinstalling all of the transmission cross members. And last step is just reinstalling the heat shield. And of course, lastly, just make sure you go around, double check all your bolts, make sure everything's tight, and we're good to go.
And now I'm gonna go ahead and, yeah, I don't like doing that, but it is what it is. Now I'm gonna install the shifter stop on the WRX. So in order to do that, you gotta take out the console out. That console right there. All that stuff had to get out. So let me grab stuff and start removing things. And hopefully this time I got the recording, because the GoPro is on my head. So let's get to it. All right guys, we're back. Okay, so I got the kit here. I got my 10mm bolt ratchet here, socket, and we're going to be installing the Perrin shift stopper. Okay, so while I'm doing this, I already installed the round brass bushing down below already, so it has taken some of the slack off, but now we still got some slack. So as you can see, it's still sloppy. Okay, going up and down is a lot better now because I installed that bushing down below underneath the transmission and that sandwich plate, but you know, still got a little bit slop here to play. So we're gonna install that on there. Let's get to it. Okay, so now I remove most of the stuff away and try to clean out the way. First things first is you gotta remove the shift knob. Once you remove the shift knob, as it's so, hope you guys can see. I'll make sure my GoPro on. I want to make sure one more time before. Yep, okay, just making sure, because that didn't record the sandwich plate when I did it. Okay, that's on. Now that's loose. Now there's a couple clips down here. Where'd it go? There it goes. Oh. I'll be right back. All right, sorry. Once you get up, pops right off. Just like that, okay? Easy. Now, the shifter. Leave this bishop shifter. It's gonna sit over here, okay? So you need a 10mm bolt. Come on. Oh, I think I should better grab an extension. Let me grab an extension real quick, right back. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and decide to move my GoPro to the tripod. That way I don't have it stuck on my head and be flipping around the video all the time. Okay, so you're gonna need a 7mm socket, or I prefer look like a wrench, but not a crescent wrench. If you don't have one of those, then get a 7mm one of these. These will work as well. Okay, this is the only 7mm I have. I don't have one of those wrenches. Not a crescent wrench. You can use a crescent wrench to get away with it, but it's pretty thick. You're gonna need a 10mm bolt with an extension ratchet. Okay, and you're wondering why you need a 7mm. So what they provided, you're going to add washers at the very end right here, is to tighten down and narrow down the shifting. So this one right here, you're gonna add a washer, and then another one right here, you're gonna add a washer too as well. So let me go ahead and get to it. It's pretty easy, it's not hard at all. So there's two 10mm bolts here, one right here and one right here. Let me get that off. Whoa, don't lose it, don't lose it. Right here. So once you get the two 10mm bolts off, you add that solid piece in. Okay. Now when you put it on, you don't want to you don't want to torque them down. You only use one hand tighten. And the reason why I say hand tighten, because you have to adjust it. Okay. So let me go ahead and put it back over here. Okay. And then put the 10mm bolts back on. Wait. Use the screws that they provided you with, they're longer. These short ones here, they're shorter. Okay. So and you need an Allen wrench key, and they provide you for an Allen wrench key as well. Okay, so you make sure you use that. Totally forgot about that. Okay, as in so. Remember, you don't want to torque them down just to where it's hand tighten. Okay, just like that. And then where's the other screw at? Right here. I should have done this on the driver's side, but the passenger side has more room without the steering wheel in my face. It's alright. I just jump back over there. Okay. Remember, just hand tighten, not what do you call it? Torque them down all the way down, and you're set. You're not, okay? Because you're gonna have to adjust it. Come on, screw. What's the deal? Hey, you see the hole? There he goes. I was like, what in the world? Okay. Don't torque them down yet, just hand tighten. Dude, we be getting a lot of mosquitoes here. Okay. Now, that's being said, now this is the way you adjust it before you kick them down. So now we got the Perrin shift stopper in now, okay? So now, okay, I won't be needing the 10mm ratchet no more. We still need the 7. Okay, so first you want to go into 5th gear. I knew it. I needed to hit that clutch. Let me go up to the driver's side. Okay. I'll close the door so it won't keep banging. Okay, so now I have the clutch in, go in 5th gear. So the stick will rub against this, and then if you go back to first or 2nd gear, it's gonna rub against the Perrin shift up. So go to 5th, neutral, 5th. See how it's rubbing on that? So it has the okay. 1st and 2nd is fine. 5th gear. Okay, reverse gear is fine. What in the world? Sixth gear, it's fine. Why it's not going to 5th gear? Anyhow, okay, so you go to 6th gear, 6th or 5th gear. Longer rubs it down to the side, pull it over just to the right, get it a little bit adjusted so it can scoot over back a little bit. Then you put it back in neutral, go to 1st gear. Okay, see how it's rubbing this chassis right here, okay, to the side of that Perrin, so it doesn't give all that slop. And then go down to 2nd gear. See, that's enough right there. Once you get that down, go ahead and start torquing it down with your Allen wrench key, and that's where you want it to be at. Because once you, like I said, you have to adjust it. Once you adjusted it, once you get it right, you can't go anywhere. Then go down. Come on. Another one, just be sure one more time. And there we have it. So now it's in. Okay. Okay. 1st, 2nd, 6th, so it's adjusted it. See, so less slop, less play, more sturdy, more shifting in. Okay, pretty easy. So now I'm gonna need a 7mm, one of these ratchets, or a wrench, not a Christian. Well, you can use a real Christian wrench, okay, but you're gonna need a 7mm, and then you're gonna put washers at this end here and this end here, so it tightens it up, the shift box. Once you tighten up the shift box, you're good to go. Okay, that's pretty much about it. It's pretty easy, guys. It's not really hard. Okay, one of the really highest reviews that I've read over this particular product, and everybody really highly recommended for the WRX. So that's the reason why I bought one and did the install video for you guys. Okay, so now I do is put everything back into normal after I put those washers in and tighten up with the 7mm bolt here on this side here, and actually on this side here, and on the other side here, if you guys can see, here and here. And after that, we're done. Put it back to center, put the shift knob back, and we're set. Okay, guys, that's all I have right now. I'm really apologize. I thought I had the GoPro on my head when I was doing the sandwich plate, but I didn't. Sorry about that. So, but yeah, I'll grab, you know, I have to grab another clip of the installation. That way you guys get the idea of it when you guys do decide to get a Works sandwich plate adapter to make your shifter a lot better. Okay, so thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Give me a thumbs like, hit the subscribe down below. Every Friday is a new video. Without you guys, I will not continue making these type of videos, and there's more to come. Okay, so again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support, and till next time, peace. I'm out.